Alrighty folks, so I just finished watching the new Netflix limited series, The Ripper. I just finished the first episode, Once Upon a Time in Yorkshire, or Yorkshire if you're an American, and we gotta sound everything out and be annoying. Now, when I first saw this show on my Netflix little coming soon recommendations, I thought this was gonna be about Jack the Ripper, the dude in the 1800s who ran around killing people. So I was surprised when this one is actually about pretty much a copycat killer. His nickname was the Yorkshire Ripper, so he's, got a little bit, he's kind of a little copycat dude, but essentially this takes place between the 70s and the 80s, and this guy, Peter William Sutcliffe was his name. He was pretty much an exact copycat of Jack the Ripper from back in the day. He had pretty much the same MO. He killed prostitutes, and his killings were not just quick. There was one woman he stabbed 56 times, so he didn't just brutally murder them. He, played with his victims. He changed the way their bodies were positioned. He would make arrangements with, their stuff in their purse. He was a very odd guy. I thought it was interesting at this time. There was a lot of poverty in the area he was in. The press would release these stories and put them in the newspapers, but people really didn't seem to care about it whatsoever because it was all prostitutes. They'd read it and just be like, okay, well, this, it's today's newspaper, whatever, who cares? But it wasn't until he actually killed a woman that wasn't a prostitute for people to actually start caring and for the story to get national attention. Serial killers are basically glorified, and people love watching these little Netflix documentaries and all kinds of things on YouTube about serial killers. And I was reading that this show got a lot of backlash from the families that participated in it and did interviews, that Netflix was essentially glorifying this guy who really wasn't nationally known, or at least I didn't know about him, so he's not like in a cultural kind of icon like Jack the Ripper was. So yeah, Mr. Sutcliffe was pretty demented. It's not like he just wanted to kill these prostitutes because he hated them. He had this weird fascination with these murders and the way he murdered them, and how he pretty much would kill them, bump them in the head, and then do weird things to them, stabbing them, doing all kinds of frankly odd stuff. This guy, I don't know. It's hard to imagine he was just walking around acting insane, because this dude did a lot of screwed up things. After watching this, I did a little bit of research on Mr. Sutcliffe here, and in his trial, he said that the voice of God had sent him on a mission to kill prostitutes. And to that, I have a lot of questions. So this guy was religious, believed in God, probably read the Bible and all that, but he thinks God sent him on a mission to kill prostitutes. This man has essentially just lost it. And I watch a lot of these Netflix type documentaries. A lot of times, none of these things get solved. Jack the Ripper obviously was not solved. My last memory of Jack the Ripper was on Assassin's Creed Syndicate when you kind of killed him in that game. At the end of the day, it is good to know he was in prison and actually died just recently in November of 2020. But to be honest, this is one of those guys that, why was he even in prison? This is one of those things where the death penalty, bam. Even if you're opposed to death penalty, this guy should not have been wasting time in jail and should have just been taken out, but maybe that's the easy way out. Some people would say let him suffer and rot in jail. But yeah, I thought this first episode was pretty good, pretty intriguing. Like I said, I came into it thinking this was about Jack the Ripper, and it turned out it was about this other guy. I thought the documentary style was pretty good. It was pretty much interlaced with old school footage of when this was happening, and then they mixed in modern day interviews with the family of the victims. So yeah, first episode definitely got me intrigued. I'm excited to finish this one out. There's 3 more episodes I gotta watch. I do like the Netflix style. They kind of have a 4-episode limited series type deal with this, so it's very digestible. It's not like a whole 2-hour thing. I mean, it's 2 hours in total, but it's split up in probably 40 to hour-long increments. So yeah, if you've watched this, watch the first episode, watch the whole thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this episode, or maybe the entire series, because we kind of know a lot about this guy. We know his final destination in hell. But that is going to do it for this video. Peace out.